Okay, my name is Deborah Carter. I am not originally from Richmond, but I have several family members, the Potters, the Stevens, who are from Richmond. I was born and raised in Indianapolis, grew up mainly in Rushville, and then relocated here when my husband and I decided to get married. And actually, it was whoever got a job first, that's where we were going to move. So after college, I went to Purdue University, majored in food technology and microbiology. Got a job at Carnation in St. Joseph, Missouri. Then, we decided to get married, and I found a job here first in Richmond, so I've been here ever since. I'm married, almost 44 years this year. We have two sons. My husband's name is Donald Carter. We have two sons, Kevin and Jeffrey Carter. They're grown men. One lives in Tampa, Florida, and then the other lives in Dallas, Texas. So they grew up here all their lives. The grandfather who raised me, not my mother's father, but my grandmother's husband, who was like a grandfather to me because he walked me down the aisle, he came up from Paducah, Kentucky. And I think he came here for work, was working on the railroad and things of that nature. And he actually was the owner, operator of a barbecue place here, Specs Barbecue, that used to be on the north side. And you're probably too young to know who he is, but his sauce is famous, and he actually gave the recipe to his nephew, who has a place in Muncie. My grandmother is from Carnesville, Indiana. Born in Rushville, moved to Carnesville to get married, but she came here when she got married to him. She was kind of a woman ahead of her time. She started a youth convention center or a conference center. It was a building that she had for the youth of Carnesville, and back in the 30s and 40s, they didn't have things of that nature, but she petitioned the city for the space, got the equipment, got funding, and it became kind of a youth center that's still there today, Frazie's Center. So that's how they got here. I came here, as I said, when I got married, but I've been in and out of Richmond my entire life because of my relatives here. So my grandfather Stevens had a farm out off of Smyrna Road, and basically there's five of us. I'm the oldest of five, and we were their free labor. So picking, weeding, canning, all that kind of stuff, just helping them out on the farm. Well, like a lot of towns, smaller towns, it's not easy to be, I would say, accepted as part of the community, but I found the best thing to do is just to join, meet people where they are. I started going to Mount Olive Baptist Church. That's where my grandparents were going. Got involved with the choir. I'm one of those people that I can't just join. I gotta, get really involved. So became the director, minister of music, when they had that position open, and that was the best thing. The other thing was I got involved in a program called Leadership Wayne County, and Leadership Wayne County trained people to make themselves available and useful to different nonprofits. So the first one I got involved with was Girls Inc. and became a board member for that organization. And that was a lot of fun, just putting programs together for the different centers. Then also for about 6 years I was president of the Minority Women's Network, and the point of that group was really to raise funds for scholarships for young women and for also young girls, minority students graduating from Richmond High School. And then also putting on programs for health, for economics, education, those types of things. So that's how I really got in. I felt like it became part of the community. I am retired, about 4 years, and my former job was Director of Quality and Innovations for New Products for General Mills. I've always been involved in pet food all of my life. So my first job after graduating from college was with Carnation Nestle. Then when I moved here to Richmond, it was with Julian and And then I helped, and that was one of the things that I did for the pet food group, is to build plants and to set their quality systems and their food safety programs up. So built the Hills plant here. Blue Buffalo, I learned of that organization and I was able to get a job, and that was in Connecticut. So I commuted actually twice a week to and from Connecticut for 8 years. And that position was basically to build a plant in Joplin, Missouri, and get the quality and food safety program started there, quality systems, and then also to build a plant here in Richmond and get that plant set up and going. But I really liked my jobs because with Hills and with Blue Buffalo, I traveled all over the world. That was the thing that I've always wanted to do. My mom always had a travel bug, and I think she instilled that in all the kids. And at one point, I lived in Europe for about a year, and at that point, I was manager of European contract manufacturers. So for about 13 countries in Europe, setting up new sites, commissioning new products, that's testing and developing them, qualifying the company, the different plants and things of that nature. And at that time, I wasn't really doing quality, so I had to put on more of an operations hat, and I've done that. So that was pretty exciting for me to do. But I chose that field because I figured, well, everybody's got to eat, right? So, and I originally thought I'd be working with people food, but animal products, foods, bedding, medications, all that kind of stuff is, there's a lot more diverse. And I think it's pretty interesting. So that's how I got involved with that. So I've done everything from shoveling stuff at a plant, pile of stuff, up to, being plant manager. So, it's been a pretty broad career. Well, I'm not sure how much it's impacting, but I hope what I'm bringing to the table is some of the skills that I've learned, over the years that I've worked in through my education. So some leadership skills, some facilitation skills. I love working with people. If you're going to manage folks, most people who are managers like people. So I think some of that, and also project management. That was my main objective when, building plants or starting up programs. You're manage small or large projects. So I hope that is something that I can bring to the organizations that I'm working with and to any group that I'm with. I've also been the only Black woman on these startup teams at the plants that I've built. And I guess the reason I don't talk about it, I don't talk about it that much. I don't think people know, so I don't know if that's really been an impact or not. But first Black European contract manager. In fact, that was the first time they had a European contract manufacturing manager, was me. And I'm pretty proud of that because it was me first time living out of the country. I lived in the Netherlands for a year. And, it's different countries, different cultures and languages and things of that nature. And I tell you what, in some of those places, you still got good old boys. They don't really respect women, don't respect Black women. And I had to help people understand that I know what I'm talking about and that they had to listen to me because, this is my role to guide them. And I think that over time, I was able to achieve, respect, and they understood that, I wasn't just coming on a title. I was coming with some knowledge. So I just think that I just want to encourage anybody that has an opportunity to step out of their comfort zone, because this was not a comfortable situation. I had a husband and I have children. I left them, because they were still in school. Children were still in school here. And to go out by myself, live abroad, and have to really learn how to still be myself, right? Without bowing to the issues that I saw, definitely racism, So I think that I'm most proud of being able to do that and come out successful. So started that business in Europe, handed it over to a person that speaks all the languages, and it's still going strong. So I think that you always have to have a plan. I think you can do it with determination and, again, having some type of plan on what you want to accomplish. For me, my biggest tools, seem kind of trite, but again, having that plan and then really having a timeline with a plan, so here's where I'm starting, here's where I want to end up, here's what I need to do to get from A to B. And then monitoring that, whether it's every week, I did that, and we still do that every month, every year, and reevaluating, okay, am I on track? Is there something I would change about what I'm doing, what's working and what's not working? Is this the right plan? What do I need to change? Is this the direction I truly want to go? Is this where God's leading me? That's something I should really stress, that everything that I've done and accomplished in my life has been through God, Him leading me through prayer. Before I took that job in temporary assignment in Europe, I prayed about whether it was okay to leave my family, my church, and go on my own. But if I could stress anything, to always, lean on God, or if it's not God, your higher power, to really lead you to go the right path. But I think everything is possible. I just want to encourage people again, if there is anything they want to try, and there are naysayers that are telling you, don't do it, pray about it, and determine if that's the way for you, and try it. And if it doesn't work, try something else.